Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love talking about comics. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. All right, so I got something special for you guys today. So, Matt Wagner created a character called Grendel, and it was released his origin, his first couple of issues. He only ended up doing 3 issues. And so there was a story he did on another character called Mage, and he ran a couple of backup stories that were collected between 1984 through 1986. They've been redone or packaged as a story called Grendel, Devil by the Deed. Okay, now we're not going to read it, but this is very. So, he has re released it and redrawn it. So, we're going to be looking at the original, and then we're going to look at the new edition. Number one, I love these vertical panels here. Absolutely love it. Matt Wagner is a huge influence on what I do. And so, this is, feel free. I'm going to link a Wikipedia article on Matt Wagner and his Grendel stuff. So feel free to check that out. I just want to show you his art, which is absolutely beautiful, and how his art has evolved is even better. So, the series originally ended in a cliffhanger. 3 issues were released, and Matt Wagner decided, well, I'm just gonna do it this way, and he kind of put it all into this thing and then finished it. So, if you are wondering what Grendel is, like I said, there's gonna be like a Wikipedia article. Essentially, it's very complicated. So I will just say this is Hunter Rose, the first incarnation of Grendel. So, and then this is Christine Spar, who is the mom, who she will get to be the mom of the new Grendel. So this is basically going through his origin. So he added a lot of text, but just we wanted to make sure he finished the story. Matt Wagner is one of my favorites of all time. Great illustrator, very creative, very his art style is one I gravitate towards. Like others, such as Walter Simonson and Frank Miller, John Byrne, I am just a huge fan of his art. And anytime I feel like I need inspiration, I go through. Another guy whose art, so his art has evolved, and you'll see uh, soon when I show you the new version of this that he starts using charcoals very similar to another artist whose work I absolutely love is John Cassidy, who of course did the X-Men. Look at this beautiful panel. This is one of the most creative individuals ever. Mostly has worked for DC when he does something that isn't creator owned. Um, Although he, I believe, wrote for Dynamite a bunch of Zorro issues. Um, Matt Wagner is like I said, his stuff is just great. So this is collected into. He's got this huge Grendel omnibus that was released by Dark Horse. That's broken down into the first incarnation, which is Hunter Rose. Then it's called the Legacy, the Orion's Reign, and then finally Prime. It's quite the epic, and then he has released some of his kind of like filling in the story. So, and this guy here is like a werewolf ish creature called Argent, which is right here. So, I'm like I said, I'm not gonna bog you down reading all this. You know how I normally just here's where um Hunter Rose and Argent have their final battle. Just the design elements Matt Wagner did, just amazing, amazing stuff. And so he ends up killing Hunter Rose, but it's not the end of Grendel. So, as Christine Spar will end up becoming the new Grendel, and then here is that little girl who ends up having a baby who is Christine Spar, who's the writer of this. So, or the fictional writer, that's her. So this is the original version. So this one was the 2023 version of Devil by the Deed. It's called the Masters Edition. It is completely redrawn in a much longer epic. Just like the first one, we are not going to read it, but I want you to appreciate Brennan Wagner is his son. So, just absolutely beautiful. So, this is what I mean, the evolution of the art. And of course, this is like 40 years later. But like John Cassidy, do you see this here? He uses dry brush and charcoals and oil pencils and all sorts of stuff. And I incorporate all of that into my art. So when I draw, so you can see here, as you just saw a little bit from that previous one, but just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous art. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So, Matt Wagner is an incredible artist, and he's just one of my favorites. I love his work. I love his art. I absolutely, positively love it. So, I don't know what else I can say except how much I just adore his art. Um, Look at that. I hope if you see this, buy this book. It is absolutely, like I said, gorgeous. Get it on Amazon, or in your local comic book store, or Barnes and Noble, or anywhere else. Here again, you can see either charcoal or dry ink, but I think it's some kind of charcoal pencil of some kind that he uses. Look at this, just how freaking gorgeous his art is. And I actually, even to this day, haven't So I bought the book last year, and I have glossed over these pictures so much. Do you know I haven't even read it yet? And I like his writing. I Matt Wagner's writing is very good, but I just haven't. I it's just these pictures are gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. Matt Wagner is so creative. Matt Wagner, look at the charcoal here that he's using. And this is what I mean by John Cassidy. John Cassidy is also one of my favorites, and like I said, I try to incorporate his art, or his art style just merges into mine. I just absolutely love that. So, and look at it again. And so, um, Matt Wagner's art style, like I said, has evolved, and I just love his current style. His 90s style was a little bit hard to, if you've ever seen uh, the Grendel Prime Batman series, the two issues that he did. Um, it is very it's a very weird, his art style. His early art style was absolutely awesome. His middle art style was just a little bit rougher. But this later art style of his is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oopsie. Went through this one too quickly. So, just gorgeous. And so this is from the new he's incorporating some of that new stuff that he's done. So he's trying to give a more concise, a more complete story with this here. So it's basically the entire thing of Grendel, the hunter Rose Grendel. So look at this, just absolutely gorgeous. Of course, comics can be for adults too. So obviously, this is not a kid's comic, but just absolutely adore his art. Um, my goodness. So he redrew this from another famous piece of his. Oopsie. Look again. Look at the charcoal there. This is what he did a lot on that Batman Grendel, the second volume, the one with the Prime. He did a lot of this, which just didn't speak to me. So he did, if you take a look right here with the inking, he did a lot of that. It just doesn't look as appealing to me. I won't go down to say I hate it because art is subjective. So, what one person likes, another person may not. So, like I said, if you're not familiar with Grendel, feel free to check out that Wikipedia article. Beautiful work. I tend to pick up stuff that he draws more so than I pick up stuff that he writes. He's a great writer. Like I said, his Zorro work um, is really good. He's he's also wrote a lot of the Grendel stuff, but he didn't draw it. He did the beginning portions of it, but there's a lot of Grendel. And for example, the Pander brothers who did the legacy portion of it, I just didn't care for them very much. So, but Tim Sale is one of the artists in the Orion's Reign uh, portion of Grendel. Tim Sale, of course, is no longer with us. Rest in peace, my man. And Tim Sale is famous for the Batman Long Halloween books. So see what I mean? That they just gives a more bigger, a more um cohesive. So if you only ever are gonna pick up one Grendel book, then this is the one I suggest. Um, I have both the Batman Grendel stuff, and I don't know if that'll ever be reprinted because it's of course got Batman in there, but um, I hope it is. Just beautiful work. So here we go down to their final battle. And look at this. How he did it the second time. How creative. And thus it still ends with his death. He doesn't make him live anymore, so and of course we get this story is very heartbreaking. Um so with Christine it was released anyway, so and then of course we get Christine Spar. And so we get a couple of extras. I think these were the original covers. Um but nope, looks like it was just pages and stuff, but anyway, just we get a couple of extras here. So just gorgeous. But I hope you enjoy his art. It's beautiful. Matt Wagner, beautiful artist, just beautiful stuff. Um, Goodness gracious, we are so lucky to have him. So, kind of a little self portrait here. So, all right. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was just kind of like a one off. I just wanted to do something kind of fun here, and I thought, I love Matt Wagner. I do enjoy his Grendel stuff, so I thought, think show it off. So anyway, the two versions of Devil by the Deed, the original version from 84 through 86, and then the 2003 remaster edition. So like and subscribe, and I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.